Um, one of the valuable things about being a global professional accountancy body is, of course, the range of international insight that we tap into across the markets we serve. And you may be aware that ACCA, together with the IMA, which is the Institute of Management Accountants based in the USA, we also operate the largest quarterly economic survey of professional accountants in the world. And we've been tracking that since 2008, which is extremely helpful, I think, to government, as you said, and to others. And it's this kind of harvesting and analysis of global insight that forms the backbone of our what we call professional insights output. And the report I want to talk about today, Groundbreakers, Gen Z and the Future of Accountancy, looks at the aspirations and ambitions of Gen Z, drawing on a global survey of 9,000 18 to 25-year-olds, and that was conducted in November and December 2020. And combined with insight from employer roundtables around the world and third-party research. And it's a joint report with IFAC, the International Federation of Accountants, reflecting the global nature again of the research that we've done. And it's very much hot off the press insight for this forum. We released it earlier this week. Some of you might have seen it covered in Wednesday's edition of the FT. So the report examines how the ambitions of younger people will help shape the next generation of work and discusses the strategies organisations should be adopting to help this generation to thrive and therefore their own businesses. I know your firms conduct your own research into these issues, and it'd be very interesting to know what resonates with you in this forum and what might be new and different in terms of the feedback that we've gathered from Gen Z. Because the fieldwork took place in the midst of the pandemic in particular countries, it also reflects how Gen Z were feeling about prospects in recovery in the light of COVID, and the fact the road to recovery is very different in different places. So we are at a different place in time and attitudes are quite different. But looking globally, at the heart of Gen Z's career aspirations is the economic and social context they've been witness to, coupled with the past 12 months, fueling concerns about job opportunities and security, well-being, and mental health. Our data shows that personal concerns as these rank significantly higher for our survey respondents than issues impacting wider society, so broader issues such as climate change, diversity and inclusion, and equality. Now, it's of course possible these issues have temporarily moved down the priority list given the personal challenges presented by the pandemic. Job insecurity may be their biggest concern, but it doesn't mean that Generation Z is intent on accepting just any job to play safe. Our data suggests they attack these insecurities with quite different strategies, seeking organisations that can provide them with continuous skills acquisition and a good work-life balance. And these factors score highly when it comes to satisfaction with employers for those Gen Z already in the workplace. But other key attraction factors such as high compensation, opportunities to work internationally and rapid advancement are less well matched, possibly suggesting retention challenges for employers. So while it's a global report and contains some important common threads, it won't surprise you, as I've already said, that findings vary across countries and sectors. And I'll focus now on some of the headlines for larger professional services firms and also what UK-based participants told us. So lack of job opportunities and job security is cited as the greatest concern by those respondents in smaller accountancy firms, the public sector and the charity and not-for-profit sector, but it's personal well-being and mental health for those in larger accountancy firms and those in the corporate sector. And this is a particular issue in larger accounting firms as respondents are much more likely to cite work-life balance as a career barrier. And across sectors, Gen Z employees in large accounting firms are least satisfied with their current work-life balance compared with their peers working across all other sectors. Differences also prevail in what attracts individuals into the profession by sector, with those, for example, in the public sector, citing opportunities to acquire a professional qualification as the number one priority. But for those in larger accounting firms, that's not even in the top 5. And that's food for thought for those with structures built around traditional training contracts for professional accountancy qualifications, and indeed for professional bodies like ACCA. As I mentioned, country results also give some fascinating insight into the different motivations of Gen Zers by location. We analysed what attracted Gen Z recruits to employers and careers across 16 separate countries. And it was only in the UK that job security was the highest ranked factor. In Ireland and Singapore, for example, it was great work-life balance. And one final highlight, a strong employer brand really matters to Gen Z in larger firms, and it is the top satisfaction factor for those in the sector. So there's much more in the detailed report, as you can imagine, available on accaglobal.com, and I'm sure we can